Hello everyone, the Flying Scotsman here. Welcome to this video. Now, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this computer. This system is tiny. Really, very tiny. Here in comparison is a floppy disk. So yeah, really quite big, really quite small rather. The floppy disk looks big next to it. Anyway, now the story behind this system is a few days ago I got given a number of machines and parts and what have you from someone who is involved with a group called the Men's Shed, who actually meet at our office at the moment. And you know, I've done a couple of odd jobs for the Men's Shed folk, computer jobs, and you know, gotten donations from some of them as well, and this machine is one such donation. So I very much appreciate the guy for donating this stuff. So what am I planning to do with this system? Well, to be honest, my girlfriend and I are actually looking for a way to be able to watch TV shows or something, you know, sometimes in bed, you know, if it's one of those days, you know, and the depression or sad is playing up, seasonal affective disorder, and, you know, we're just not really kind of up for being civilized human beings. You know, we can maybe go to, you know, stay in bed and ease our way up, you know, by watching something, like putting something on. Now, this job has actually fell to the Beast. Unfortunately, the Beast is really quite long in the tooth. I mean, it's 11 years old, coming up 12 years old this coming May. Not bad, but, I mean, even for, you know, I mean, okay, it's quad-core system, 8 gigs of DDR2 RAM, and for political reasons, it's got a GT 630 in it at the moment, but it is getting a bit long in the tooth and a bit slow, so I've decided to replace the modern machine duties of the Beast. I've decided to kind of give it a wee helping hand in the form of this very diminutively sized Dell. So, what is this machine? Well, this is a Dell Optiplex 790, so it's from Dell's business range of computers. And did I mention it was tiny? Anyway, so what does this machine have? Well, on the internally, it's got an i5 2400S. I think that must be a lower powered chip. Running at 2.5 gigahertz, quad core, I believe. It's only got 4 gigs of RAM, but it is DDR3. I do plan to upgrade it to 8 eventually. It has a slimline DVD burner, and also in there is a slimline hard disk drive. At the moment it's got a 120 gig drive, but I'm going to pull a hard drive out of one of the other machines that I received, which is also a Dell. You're never going to believe this, folks. It's another Inspiron 1545, and you can see how big that is compared to the tiny Optiplex. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this machine up a bit, and we're going to install the hard drive, and we'll install Windows and set it up. So let's have a wee look. So on the front we've got the Dell logo. Now this system can either be mounted flatbed style or like this. Makes it look quite neat. So you have optical drive, 2 USB 2 ports, headphone and microphone, There doesn't appear to be a Windows product key on this machine. There's a label that says no HD. So that is a thing. Okay, now if we look at the back of the machine, we have a network port, 5 USB 2 ports, RS-232 serial, VGA, display port, line in and line out for speakers. Excellent. I think this might have an internal speaker, but I'm not entirely sure. So what we're going to do now is we'll open it up. So there you have it. There's a wee date on here. It says 2011-05, I think it's 20. So 20th of May 2011. Me disabled 3. Me disabled. Sounds very ableist. Thanks, Dell. You know, I've had nothing but respect for your machines. This is how you repay me? Thanks, guys. Way to make me feel brilliant. Anyway, moving on. So, what we need to do is we'll remove the front of this machine. I did try, I did take it apart the other night just to see if it like, but it is quite, it can be quite a bit of a job to put it back together again. So you've got these wee catches. So we've got one here, and then one here, which I can't remember if you push it or pull it. Let's try both ways. Yep, there we go. So, there we go. And now, to access the drives, what I need to do is I need to get this handle thing. Yep. There we go. And then and pull it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the SATA cables to the hard drive. I'll keep the optical drive plugged in for now, because I don't really need to unplug that and complicate things. I can just get my hard drive out. So what I need to do now is, here's the hard drive. I had wanted to fit a solid state drive to this and put Windows 10 on here. However, it's one of those cases of dream on, Jay, because I have no money. Seems almost improper to be using a screwdriver this size on a machine that small. Kind of reminds me of when it's after dark with my girlfriend. She likes to service tiny Dells with large screwdriver kits as well. Okay, so I've took out the hard drive that I just installed. That said, I did literally install the drive just to see if the system actually worked. So, I mean, I knew that I was going to change it if I had a chance. So I'm just going to extricate another drive. So LBRB. And as if by magic, we have a larger drive. This is a Samsung 320 gig drive. So I think what we'll do is we'll install Windows 7 on here, just while I've got a spinning drive. At some point I will be getting a solid state drive for this, so we can put Windows 10. It's a Sandy Bridge machine, so Windows 10 should be fine. And now back to the screwing in. Inappropriate! Putting this system back together is basically the opposite of what we have just been doing. This drive has some kind of bun-fringed Windows Vista installation on it, so that's going to go. Now, some of the systems did have their hard drives removed for security reasons. Some of them did not, but I plan to not even try and entertain anything on the drives. I will literally just blank them. And, you know, away we go. Right. Excellent. So, what is the plan now? The plan is I need to plug in the hard drive. Well, by actually knowing how to use a bloody SATA cable. Well done. There we go. And now just use that way. There we go. Okay, so now we just need to right. Right, and now we put the front back on. There we go. And now we just need the lid. There we go. And now we have one working Dell. well, hopefully. So I'm just going to quickly tidy up my screwdriver set here, and I can get to installing Windows. Before we do that though, I want to try and clean up this system. Let's do that. So to do that, I'm just going to use a rat wipe. So that's that sorted. The machine now looks shiny and slightly used. There we go. And now, after much setting up, we are ready to go. So, fingers X'd. And okay, so this is, I think, designed to be run on a widescreen, which in future it might be. We'll see. But here we go. Right. What I want to see is what drives we have. Here we go, 320 gigs Samsung and a DVD-RW. And there seems to be, oh, was a bit of mouse activity, but now that's ceased. Well, it kind of works. Hope the mouse works in regular Windows. Wait a minute. Do we actually have Wi-Fi on this system? Because if we do, that could be really quite useful to have, if I'm honest. Means the beast can have its Wi-Fi adapter back. Right. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use, if we can, we're going to use Uefi. There we go. Now we should probably set the date, so today is St. Andrew's Day 2018, and the time is 07:46 AM. So back on form with my odd hour keeping. So I think I've got this machine set up in Uefi mode, so let's see if I can make it go. Please don't mind the nature sounds in the background, by the way. I will use those for sleeping, relaxing. Okay, so what we're going to do is Uefi Boot TSST card, hopefully. Why did that do that? I think the system must have to reboot to do that. Okay, I believe we are in Uefi Boot. I should probably talk about graphics. This system will be using the Intel HD 2000 graphics. Most likely. I don't know. I'm actually going to be honest, I don't know what is on this chip. It's an i5-2400S. I've never used this chip. So I have no clue about its specs. I know I could look it up in ARC. But we'll run CPU-Z once we get into Windows. But hopefully, I think we're going to be able to boot into Uefi. We'll get some drivers and everything. And I am actually using a Dell OEM Windows CD here. Well, I do have a nice Windows 7 Professional install CD here. Original, nice, I like it. This makes Jay happy. Jay, I like it. Jay is happy. Windows 7 is actually my favourite version. One of my favourite versions of Windows, I must admit. I mean, to me, 7 basically took off where Windows XP left off. Just, yeah. Windows 7 is just compatible. I mean, it will run out of support in 2020, so that is going to be quite sad actually when that happens. Okay, finally, I have a working Windows 7 CD, but not necessarily a working mouse. Okay, we're finally in setup. Now I'm going to need to find a way to get this mouse to work. Before we do anything though, what I want to do is Shift F10 and I'm going to clean this disk and make it GPT bootable. To do that, of course, disk part. Okay, so sitrep. I've had a sleepy time and I did a couple of things between when I stopped filming last night and now. First thing I did was to find a PS2 to USB mouse converter. So that's plugged in. Hopefully that'll work. And the second thing that I'm going to second thing I've done, made a bootable USB stick with the Dell OEM Windows 7 Professional image. And the third thing I'm going to do is, well, the third thing I did was to look out my USB keyring of light. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to boot this system with Linux, see if we can do that, and we'll clear out the hard drive. So another set rep. This machine does not like the mouse adapter, so I'm going to have to maybe find a different mouse. Hours, minutes, days. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, so we're going to boot from USB, and I think what we'll do, we'll boot into Ubuntu Mate because it's nice and simple. So I just want to try the OS without installing. So it looks like I'm going to need to use a different mouse. No matter. This will probably be why things around these parts are a wee bit wireless. There we go. Okay, so the plan here is to... Well, the plan here is to see what we have network-wise. It seems that we only have Ethernet. I'm not... Yeah. Oh well. And that's quite interesting. Let's see if we can make a new partition table. Partitions for on. Well, okay then. If the hard drive is gone, I'm going to have to get a new one. Hang on. And the mouse works in the BIOS. So we're in Windows 7 setup, so let's open the command prompt and see if I can disk part in. I can! Excellent. Excellent. We're getting somewhere. We're making progress. That is good. Yeah. The drive is a way to go, man. I understand. so that's Windows kind of installing. So let's see. Let's see how we get on with this. Okay, so I'm back and I've installed a 250 gig drive in here and installed a new CMOS battery, which unfortunately necessitated in the removal of the heatsink. So yeah, I had to repaste the processor. So yeah, so let's see if this thing even works anymore. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So date and time, the date is 11:30. The time now is 2:55 PM. We're on the thunderstorm track again. Right. Yep, excellent. The drive has been recognised. Maybe we'll enable some smart reporting. Let's see, auto for fast boot I think, and virtualization. Yep, all that is enabled, so let's exit out of that. That went well. Okay, so we've seen this about 1,000,000 times, so what I'll do is I'll let it boot into Windows and we'll come back. And we're in Windows, so usual thing, disk part, side part, list, disk. There's the one we want, 250, well 232, so we'll clean that. Exit that. Excellent. And hopefully no diabolical warnings about how setup is going to go complete out. So again, we've seen this before, like a million times. So I'll come back once Windows is nicely installed. And just before I do get to the out-of-the-box experience for Windows 7, I must say, I don't know why, but it still amazes me how quickly it installs from a flash drive. I mean, let's talk a bit about optical media for installing operating systems. Believe it or not, while I still like my computer to have an optical drive, I've pretty much all but abandoned the use of CDs and DVDs for operating system installations, preferring instead to use USB drives because it's... I don't know why this is doing this. Right, let's... bot sequence. let's try legacy. Yeah, that might work. James Cravens. I am so fucking catatonically stupid. Anyway. Hopefully this will work. There we go. I really am stupid. And then it has prompted me to change out that hard drive. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, so the computer, optical media. So, I have pretty much all but abandoned the use of optical media for installing, you know, operating systems, Windows 7, or dare I say Vista, or newer. Yeah, I still use CDs when installing XP because I just find it easier. You've got to jump through. You can get XP to work over USB, but sometimes it can be a bit fucky. I know that Billy Core has been successfully installing Windows XP over USB now for probably a couple of years. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, well, I mean, Windows 7, I mean, well, this particular Windows 7 disk, it's a Dell OEM one, and yeah, I want to use this one because it will automatically detect the product's key in this machine and will activate. Whereas if I use the standard Windows 7 install, I'd need to do that manually. But the Dell OEM image is 5 gigs. The standard DVD is 4.7 gigs. Now I do have some dual layer discs, but none of them work. But on Windows 10, and even 8.1 I guess to some extent, try to boot from a CD. I mean, that just takes... it takes its time. And if you're running Mac OS 10, well... you ever tried booting line from a CD? Last time I booted the computer from something that took that long to boot, it was from a cassette tape. And, well, Macs don't even have optical drives anymore, so you'd have a job on. As well, considering, you know, it downloads the operating system from the net nowadays. It's all very fancy pants. A bit too fancy pants, if you want my opinion. But yeah, no, you've got USB. I mean, I use an easy to boot disk, you know, if I want to install anything from Vista through 8.1. Windows 10 on the other hand is quite big. I think I like to have the all-in-one version, so x86 and x64, that's about 8 gigs in size. You know, and now with Windows 10's rolling release, I like to, as another thing, I mean, yeah, I could use rewritable DVD dual layer discs. They kind of have a limited shelf life, really. I can imagine, you know, if I'm having to constantly erase and rewrite every 6 months. No, that's not a song by the Cardigans. That was Erase and Rewind. But, yeah, the USB sticks are just better for Windows 10. Especially if you're installing it on a tablet. Like I said though, while I am using optical media much less for installation, nowadays I still have and use optical stuff. I mean, I make use of Blu-rays, and obviously with what I do work-wise, I need to be able to burn CDs and DVDs. So, you know, volunteering, I mean, I do sound stuff as well as just general computer management. So yeah. So while I'm not quite ready to give up the optical drive bay in my computer, much less the optical drive, I will admit that, you know, since I built my computer in 2013, I'm using it a lot less. I keep a lot of stuff on the hard drive and on flash drives, you know, be that operating systems or just regular application software. And I'm kind of lucky in that I have a fibre connection. Okay, it's fibre to the fibre to the node rather than fibre to the premises, but I'm quite lucky that I have that, so things that need installed online can be that way. So that is something, but not everyone has that, which is why I wish they would stop trying to, you know, act like everyone has access to the internet, because, well, a lot of people will have access to the internet, a lot more than you might think. It might not be a good, steady, reliable connection, which is, to be honest, what a lot of these things need. Not to mention quick. While I was enjoying up to 20 megs at home in 2011, my cousin, who lives out, or at the time lived out in a place called Dalmally, which is Argyll in Butte. Basically, it's a wee hamlet. Well, it would be, were it not for a tiny wee corner shop. Very remote. They lived there, and the internet could go down if the weather got a bit fucky. And while I was enjoying up to 20 megs, they were enjoying up to probably about 2. Anyway, let's set this machine up. Okay. So obviously this machine doesn't have a Wi-Fi thing, so I'll just borrow the one out from the best. I know somewhere I should have an Asus one. Fun times. So let's go and get a driver stick. So I have good news. I've actually found my original active PS2 mouse and keyboard to USB adapter, so that is good. So now I'm using the original mouse, well, not original, but you know what I mean, my regular mouse and keyboard. I think the plan for this machine is to actually buy the internal Wi-Fi adapter. This bloody thing, right. Right, let's connect to my Wi-Fi. And this is my home network. Now map my network drives. See how well I can install night stuff. Might not install it with this derped up a Windows install. Well, when I say derped up, I mean not updated in any kind of way. Okay, so I have the system in kind of a state where I can download drivers and what have you, and the first one is BIOS A22, and this is apparently urgent, so I reckon I should probably take that, because I honestly believe that this system is this is probably to do with the Intel Management Engine stuff. So yeah, I mean that's quite good. I want to see what. Yep, we have drivers for Windows 8 for this, so they should work on 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to install I'm going to download all the drivers. So, first order of business, let's install the BIOS. I mean, I have to say that you probably shouldn't update the BIOS unless something is wrong, but given the recent Intel bun fringery, I would say, I would definitely say that we need this, because this BIOS has system BIOS A22, gigabit Ethernet 004, legacy video OROM, GT2 legacy video, Intel anti-theft, Intel management engine update, ACPI OS support. And normally on a, it's been a while since I updated the BIOS on a Dell system, so last few times I've updated a Dell system BIOS, it's I've actually been using the battery. Well, I've actually been using a system which has a main battery, a portable, a laptop. Updating your system's firmware. Do not power down your system. Okay, so the system has powered itself down. Let's see. Yep, we have BIOS revision A22. This mouse still likes to do that in the BIOS. Oops. Well, look, we've got update. Windows works so fast that anyone would think it worked for Uncle Sam. Oh, here we go. So far, I mean, there's nothing installed on here. So naturally, I'm quite impressed with the performance. Probably because there's heat hot installed. Although that, starting with the machine, could put a spanner in the works. Yeah, that was a good idea. Not. And now that I've finished with the BIOS file, I will delete it. No, you're not gonna... Okay. Okay. So let's now go ahead and install some chipsets and some things, man, and some stuffs. Okay, so I've installed all the drivers, so now, well, we'll see what's what. So, as you can see, judging by how small everything has become, at least we know that the display driver is installed. Excellent. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to, oops, wrong pointer, that went well. There we go. I can see the bloody mouse pointer. Everything is installed on the everything is installed driver wise, and we even have some applications installed. So the next job is to install even more applications. Right, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh dear. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, before we do anything, let's have a look at the CPU actually, because I did want to see the CPU specs. So we should get some specs for this machine with the CPUs I'd installed. There we go. I think also what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go here maybe and turn the screen dimmer off. Well, that's useful. So here we go. We've got a Sandy Bridge CPU 2400S, 2400S at 2.5 gigahertz. Max TDP 65 watts. So it is a true quad core. Nice. So yep, Sandy Bridge Q65 chipset. Well, this is 1333 megahertz memory. both of them Samsung modules, and Intel HD graphics, Sandy Bridge. That tells me everything I needed to know. Thanks. Yeah. So this is this computer. Well, what else would it be? A banana? What display should it? Advanced settings, there we go. Intel HD graphics. 2000. Yep, I thought that might be the case. So, there we go. So, a gaming machine this is not, but I do feel I could probably get a couple of cheeky sessions of Grand Theft Auto 3 in if I really wanted to. So, what I plan to do with this machine is just have it as a general purpose bedroom computer. And, well, one of the main things that I want to do with this machine is, like, Plex. So, yeah. No, I'm not going to use Tidal. It's yet another music streaming service. So I want to choose my app, Plex Media Player. Wind blows, download 64-bit. I think the long-term plan, like I've said before, is Windows 10 on this machine, definitely. Want to get a solid-state drive for that though, because yeah. But until then, you know, just kind of stick with 7, and hopefully that should do the trick fine. We'll get probably install Office, because why the hell not? But there you have it. One Dell Optiplex 790. The teeny tiny Dell. Oh, look at it, it's awful tiny. Oh. I'm pretty sure. I'd like to think that the rep from Dell on selling this machine would have actually described it in a really kind of high voice. It's that small. That said, I probably am going to phone Dell and go, look, where's the rest of it? Either that or... excuse me. Either that or the previous owner washed it on too high a setting. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I may joke about, but I love these tiny form factor machines. I do. I really do like them. Anyway, so I think I'll end this video here. So thank you all for watching, and please feel free to join me for my next video. Cheery bye.